Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast.
Today we are talking about something very important: the best methods to learn English.
Yes, if you sometimes feel confused about how to study English, this episode will help you.
And before we continue, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
And please like this video.
Your support is very important for us. When you subscribe and like, you help us create more English content for you.
So, let's start with a simple question. What is the best way to learn English?
Many people think the answer is grammar. Some people think the answer is memorizing many words.
Grammar and vocabulary are important, of course. But today we want to focus on one powerful method: listening.
Listening is one of the most natural ways to learn a language. Think about children. How do they learn their first language? They listen for months before they start speaking. They don't study grammar books. They listen again and again. When you listen to English regularly, your brain starts to understand the rhythm of the language. You learn how sentences connect. You learn how words sound together. Even if you don't understand every word, your brain is still learning patterns. For example, you hear sentences like, "I'm going to work," or "What are you doing?" many times. After some time, these sentences feel normal. This is very important. Many learners stop listening because they don't understand everything. But you don't need to understand 100%. If you understand 60%, that is already great. Listening also improves your pronunciation. When you hear correct pronunciation again and again, your mouth learns how to produce those sounds.
Yes, and I want to add something. Listening also helps your confidence. When English sounds familiar, you feel less afraid. Many students are scared to speak because English feels strange. But if you listen every day, English becomes normal. Imagine you listen to short conversations every day for 1 month. After that, when someone says, "How was your day?" you don't panic. You already heard that question many times. Listening gives you input, and good input creates better output.
So if you want to make English easier, start with simple and regular listening practice. Not once a week, every day.
Even 15 or 20 minutes is enough. The key is consistency. And actually, Emily, I think this is a good moment to explain something important.
Yes, because many people think we are only a listening channel.
But basic listening is not just a YouTube channel.
We are building a complete English learning system.
On basiclistening.com, our members can practice different skills, not only listening, but also vocabulary and grammar.
And we also have a mobile application. It is available for both iOS and Android.
So you can practice anywhere, at home, on the bus, during a break.
We really recommend you to try our website and our mobile app. If you want to improve your English step by step, they can help you a lot.
Now let's continue with vocabulary.
Yes. Many students ask, how can I learn vocabulary while listening? First, when you listen to a conversation, don't stop at every unknown word. Listen to the whole idea. Try to understand the general meaning. Then, listen again. The second time, pay attention to new words. For example, if you hear the word improve many times, You can guess the meaning from the sentence. After that, you can write the new word in a small notebook, or you can add it to a vocabulary list.
And this is exactly how we support you in our system. In our web application and mobile app, you don't just listen. You can see important vocabulary from the listening content.
You can review those words again and again.
Repetition is very important. When you see and hear a word many times, it stays in your memory.
So instead of memorizing random word lists, you learn vocabulary in context.
Context means real sentences, real conversations,
This makes learning more natural.
and more enjoyable.
So again, if you want to practice listening and vocabulary together, don't forget to try basiclistening.com and our mobile app.
It is designed especially for learners like you.
So now let's talk about something very important. After listening, how do we start speaking?
Yes, many students listen a lot, but they don't speak. They think listening is enough, but listening is only the first step.
Listening gives you input. Speaking is your output. If you want to improve faster, you need both.
So what can you do after you listen to a podcast or a short conversation? First, don't close the audio immediately. Stop for a moment. Think about what you heard. Then try to repeat some sentences. Not everything, just one or two useful sentences. For example, if you hear, "I usually wake up at 7 a.m., pause the audio and say the same sentence. Then change it. Say, "I usually wake up at 8 a.m."
This is a very simple technique, but it is powerful. You are not creating a sentence from zero. You are using a model sentence. This makes speaking easier.
There is another method. After listening to a short conversation, try to summarize it. It can be very simple. For example, you can say, "They are talking about work," or "She is describing her daily routine." Even 2 or 3 sentences are enough. The goal is not perfection. The goal is practice.
And don't worry about mistakes. When you speak alone, nobody is judging you. This is your safe space.
And this is something we also support in our system. In our web application and mobile app, you can listen to content again and again.
You can pause easily, repeat easily, and practice speaking after each listening activity.
Some learners listen one time and move on, but we recommend listening at least 2 or 3 times. First, for general meaning. Second, for details. Third, for speaking practice.
So the simple formula is this: listen, repeat, change the sentence, speak.
It sounds simple because it is simple.
And simple methods are often the most effective. Now let's talk about grammar. Many students worry a lot about grammar.
Yes, they think, "My grammar is not perfect. I can't speak."
But here is something important. Grammar can grow naturally when you speak.
When you listen a lot, you hear correct sentence structures again and again. For example, "I am working." "She is studying." "They are playing." Without studying the rule, your brain starts to understand the pattern. Subject plus am, is, are, plus verb plus ing. Then, when you start speaking, you use the same pattern. You say, "I am learning English," or "I am watching a video."
At first, maybe you make small mistakes. That is normal. But every time you speak, you practice grammar in a real situation.
Let me give you a simple example. Imagine you only study the past tense from a book. You read the rule, add ed to regular verbs. You do exercises. That's good. But if you never say sentences like, I watched a movie yesterday, or I visited my friend, the grammar stays passive. When you speak, grammar becomes active.
Speaking forces your brain to organize words correctly. At the beginning, you may speak slowly. You may stop and think. But this thinking is part of learning.
And here is the connection. Listening shows you correct grammar in real sentences. Speaking helps you use that grammar.
So instead of asking, did I study enough grammar? Maybe ask, did I use grammar today?
That small change can make a big difference.
So a simple method is this. First, listen to a short dialogue. Second, choose one structure. For example, present simple or past tense. Third, create 3 new sentences with the same structure about your own life.
This way, grammar is not only a rule, it becomes your language.
Now, let's talk about something very common. Grammar fears.
Yes, many learners are afraid of grammar.
Some students think, my grammar is bad.
Or they think, if I make a grammar mistake, people will laugh at me.
This fear stops many people from speaking.
One common fear is this. Students want to speak perfectly. They want every sentence to be 100% correct. If they are not sure, they stay silent. But this is a problem, because language is not about perfection. It is about communication.
If someone understands you, your grammar is working.
Another fear is about tenses. Present simple, present continuous, past simple. Many students feel confused. They think, what if I use the wrong tense?
But in real life, small tense mistakes are not a disaster. For example, if you say, yesterday I go to school, people still understand you. Of course, the correct sentence is, yesterday I went to school. But communication is still possible.
Grammar improves step by step. When you listen more, you hear correct forms again and again. When you speak more, you practice those forms. Slowly, your mistakes become smaller.
So maybe the real problem is not grammar. Maybe the real problem is fear. If you wait until your grammar is perfect, you will never start speaking.
Speak first, improve later.
Use simple sentences, short sentences, clear sentences. Grammar is a tool. It is not a test. Okay, let's make this practical. Let's imagine a real-life situation.
Yes, a simple daily situation. Nothing complicated.
Imagine you meet a colleague in the morning at work.
Hey, good morning!
Good morning. How are you?
I'm a little tired today. I slept late last night.
Oh, really? Why did you sleep late?
I watched a movie. It was very interesting.
Nice. What was it about?
It was about a young man who wants to start a business.
Now let's stop for a moment. This is a very simple conversation.
Yes, the grammar is not complicated. We used present simple, how are you? We used past simple, I slept late. I watched a movie.
These are basic structures, but they are powerful.
Now imagine you listen to this conversation in our app or on our website. What should you do next? First, repeat the sentences. Say, I slept late last night. Then change it. Say, I studied late last night. Or, I watched a movie. Change it to, I watched a series.
This is how grammar grows naturally. You don't memorize rules. You use patterns. And don't worry if you say, I sleep late last night. That is okay.
The important thing is speaking. Correction comes with time.
Real progress happens when you use English in real situations. Now let's learn vocabulary from this small conversation.
Yes, many students listen to a dialogue, but they don't know how to collect new words.
So let's go back to our example. We heard sentences like, I slept late, I watched a movie, and it was about a young man.
First, choose 3 or 4 useful words or phrases. Not 20 words, just a few. For example, slept late, watched a movie, about. Don't write only the word sleep. Write the full phrase, slept late. Why? Because we speak in phrases, not single words.
Then make your own sentences. I slept late yesterday. My brother slept late. I watched a movie with my friend. When you create new sentences, the word becomes active in your brain.
And this is something we support in our web application and mobile app. After listening to content, you can see important vocabulary from the dialogue. You don't need to search for words alone.
You can review them again later. You can repeat them. You can practice them in context.
And because the words come from real conversations, they are more natural.
So the simple method is this. 1. Listen to the dialogue. 2. Choose a few useful phrases. 3. Create your own sentences. 4. Repeat them during the day.
This is how vocabulary grows, step by step.
Not by memorizing long word lists, but by using words in real life. So today we talked about the best methods to learn English.
Yes, and we saw something important. Learning English does not have to be complicated.
First, we talked about listening. Listening helps your brain understand patterns, rhythm, and pronunciation.
Then we talked about speaking. After listening, you should repeat, change sentences, and speak.
We also said that grammar can grow naturally when you use it in real sentences.
You don't need perfect grammar to start speaking. You need practice.
And we learned how to take vocabulary from a simple conversation.
Choose a few useful phrases. Create your own sentences. Repeat them.
And remember, Basic Listening is not only a YouTube channel.
We also have basiclistening.com and our mobile app for iOS and Android.
You can practice listening, vocabulary, grammar, and speaking in one system.
If you are serious about improving your English, we really recommend you try our website and mobile app.
English becomes easier when you practice a little every day.
Small steps, every day. That is the key.
Now we want to hear from you.
What is your biggest problem in learning English?
Write your answer in the comments.
We read your comments, and maybe your question can be our next podcast topic.
And if you like this episode, please don't forget to like the video.
And subscribe to our channel to join our English learning community.
Thank you for listening.
See you in the next episode.